Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new video today. Today, I'm going to do my 2020 F1 season predictions for the 2020 season, of course. And let's get into this then. So, starting at number 20, Nicholas Latifi. Now, Nicholas Latifi, obviously, is the only rookie in 2020 on the Formula One grid. And therefore, obviously, it's a bit unknown what he's capable of to some degree. However, based on his junior Formula record, I don't really have a lot of expectation for Nicholas Latifi, quite frankly. Obviously, I am expecting Nicholas to do hopefully well. I want him to do well, like any Formula 1 driver that's on the grid. But I don't think with the car he's in, and based on his junior Formula records, he's going to do well, necessarily. If he scores a point or two at some point during the season, I think that's an achievement. If he outqualifies George Russell, that's an achievement. I think, if he can tick like one box at a time sort of thing, that's what he should be aiming for, not maybe making leaps and bounds, if that makes sense. But I'm excited to see what Nicholas can do, of course. In his rookie season in Formula 1. I'm pretty sure he'll want to make an immediate impact, just like fellow rookies before him have done. And I'm sure that he will do so, in 2020. But with that Williams car, of course, I think, obviously, it could be quite tricky to obviously get points throughout the entirety of the season. So I think, 20th or 19th at best. Number 19, George Russell. And yeah, again, I've put the two Williams drivers, basically last in this order, because I just think that, it's going to be a tricky season once again for Williams. But for George, he's actually also, just like Nicholas Latifi, still yet to score points. George Russell is the only driver, actually, that didn't manage to score points last season, because his teammate Robert Kubica did. However, George Russell had a phenomenal season, even though he didn't score any points last season. I think he outqualified his teammate in all qualifying sessions. He outraced his teammate in all races except one, which was Germany. And yeah, a fantastic rookie season with Williams, I guess. However, what's hindering him is the car. And, quite frankly, I think that's going to continue to be the same in 2020. The car will be the biggest issue here for George. So yeah, I can't really expect him to achieve a lot more than 19th. I think 19th with a couple of points here and there would be okay result for George. I think that'd be a good result for the young lad. And quite frankly, I really, really do like George, because I think he's actually better than Norris, in some sense. He's Formula 2 champion as well. But anyway, number 18, Giovinazzi. And yes, Giovinazzi. Well, right, quite frankly, I felt the first half of the season for Giovinazzi in 2019 was poor, very poor from him. But he sort of picked up a little bit, especially towards the end of the season. Now, the only thing is, though, can he bring that into 2020? Just basically start from where he left off in 2019. I really don't know. I really struggle with Giovinazzi, because I think there is talent there to be exploited, but at the end of the day, it's about exploiting that talent with Giovinazzi. Is he a world champion or a future champion? Probably not, no. Is he, going to be a future race winner? Probably not, no. I have my doubts. But at the end of the day, there is some talent there that I think he is a decent driver, given maybe a good car. But he did have a good car last season. That what don't make sense to me. He had a very good car, actually, in that Alfa last season. He should have done better with that equipment. He did score points, though, in all fairness to Giovinazzi, on a few occasions, I believe. So, yeah, he can get the job done. However, he's just not doing it at the moment and not doing it frequently enough. That's, I think, the biggest flaw with Giovinazzi right now. But that's what I've put him number 18. Number 17, Romain Grosjean. Yes, Romain Grosjean, the Frenchman. Now, quite frankly, I feel his days are numbered as a Formula 1 race driver. 2018 was bad. 2019 was horrendous. You know, honestly, if he does not pick up form in 20, with Haas, quite frankly, I think his Formula 1 career, he might as well retire. Because at the end of the day, I just don't see it getting better for him. Like, you know, there's seemingly no light at the end of the tunnel with Romain Grosjean. I like the guy. He's a very, very nice man. Overall, he seems very polite gentleman. Someone who you'd happily sit around the dinner table and eat your dinner with. But is he, you know, going to add to your Formula 1 team? Probably not, no. At the end of the day, whilst he's a very good car developer, he clearly has a natural talent for that, but it's the performances on track which speak more. And for me, he hasn't delivered now for what? Good part of 2 years now. And quite frankly, these problems even stem back to his early Formula 1 days in 2012, 2013. So it's really nothing new with Romain Grosjean, you know, either way. Number 16, we have Lance Stroll. Now, I do like Lance Stroll. I think he's a good driver. I think he does have some talent there. It's a very similar problem with, I guess, Antonio Giovinazzi here with Lance Stroll. Whilst a lot of people criticise Lance Stroll, saying, oh, his dad bought him into Formula 1, whilst that may be true, however, he is an okay driver at the same time. You know, he can score points. He did score points last season on quite a number of occasions. The only problem with Lance Stroll right now, I feel, is his qualifying. If he can get his qualifying sorted, you know, quite frankly, he could be a very decent driver in that midfield pack. But right now, that's the only flaw with Lance Stroll. You know, he's qualifying. He's underperforming in qualifying, but doing exceptionally well in the races. You know, maybe that's a trait Lance Stroll has. I don't know. But at the end of the day, is it a good trait to have? Well, the thing is, look, if he was qualifying further up the grid, obviously, and still performing the same way exceptionally well in races, it'd be a brilliant trait to have. But obviously, as he's qualifying so low down in the races and in qualifying and then doing exceptionally well in races, he's only like scoring 1 or 2 points on average a race, which isn't a great trait to have, I guess. But at the end of the day, we'll see. Number 15, Kevin Magnussen. Now, Kevin Magnussen, you know, has been in Formula 1 since 2014, really, hovering about. He's had a really good time, actually, at Haas. I think he's been one of Haas' more successful drivers. Is he more successful than Grosjean? I wouldn't really go that far. But at the end of the day, you know, Magnussen's a very good, decent driver. He's quick, he's aggressive, he's fast. I've just said that, in quick. But, you know, he's a very good driver. The only thing that I felt let him down last season was the car. And on numerous occasions, he got into Q3. But for whatever reason, in the race, well, he just went backwards all the time. And obviously, that was a car flaw, not actually a driver flaw. He wasn't really making many errors, you know, overall for a driver of his caliber. So, you know, quite frankly, I can't really blame Kevin Magnussen for his frustrations in 2019. However, okay, having said that, do I think, you know, 2020 will get any better for Haas? I don't think it will. I think Haas are going to suffer from the same issues that we saw last season, possibly. Unless they can find a solution to the problems, which I don't think they will, because I don't think they even know what the solution is, then, you know, it's going to be another long, probably tough season for Haas. Number 14, Kimi Räikkönen. Now, will he retire at the end of 2020? I honestly don't know. The man, though, he's a legend as far as I'm concerned in Formula One. Whether he retires or not, I think he's one of the most successful drivers to win a world championship, one world championship. But not only that, he's one of the best for his age as well. Last season, he had a quite good season, considering he's, 40 years old now, the guy is. He had a rather good season, I thought, in a midfield alpha, and in a very strong midfield pack, actually, because that midfield is very strong. Got some very strong drivers, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, some very good, exceptional talents coming up and through the ranks. And that's not going to get any easier this season, I don't think, with Ocon returning. And, that's why I've put him at number 14. I do think he will score a decent haul of points, but I don't think he'll be as good as 2019 necessarily. But yeah, obviously, whether or not this will be his final season in Formula 1, we will have to wait and see what Kimi decides to do beyond 2020. I think it will be his final season. I've got that gut instinct with that one. But at the end of the day, if it is, he's had an exceptional Formula 1 career, but we'll soon find out. Number 13, Daniel Kvyat. Now, Kvyat, I thought, had a exceptional or superb, comeback season into Formula 1 with Toro Rosso, which is now AlphaTauri. But it was a very good season for the Russian driver, the only Russian driver on the grid. He scored a podium in Germany. He got quite a number of point scores during the season and throughout the season. So, he had a pretty decent season overall. I thought the first half of his season was better than the second half, but at the end of the day, he was still performing okay. He weren't really getting caught up in too many incidences, this season, which was good, I guess, for Kvyat, because Kvyat was one of them drivers, especially after he got demoted to Toro Rosso, who started to get caught up in a lot of incidences, and I think he lost his head a little bit. He's all come back. He's taken a break. Fair enough. Okay. And he's come back from his break and has done a good job indeed. I think the guy deserves some credit where credit is due. And quite frankly, at one point, I thought, he's actually, because of Gasly's situation, I thought himself, Albon and Gasly were all in the hunt for that Red Bull seat for 2020. And I think they were. Number 12, Esteban Ocon. Yes, I think Ocon will finish 12th in the Formula 1 season this season. Quite frankly, it's his first comeback season in Formula 1. He's had a year out of Formula 1, and you can't really expect someone who's had a year out necessarily to be on it straight away from the first Grand Prix. I would expect him to still be quick from the first Grand Prix, as in battling hard, but I wouldn't expect him to be exceptional from the first Grand Prix. At least, by the time we get to at least, hopefully, Spain, he should be back to his best, hopefully. In my opinion, somewhere around there, China, Spain, should be back to the best of his ability. But yeah, as I say, with Ocon, it's tough to tell, because obviously he is a very good driver. I think, his Force India days showed it. It really did. But at the same time, he's going into a new team. He's got to get used to now a new car, a new system. He's sort of got to relearn the tracks to some degree. Plus, there are going to be one or two new tracks to him as well. For instance, Vietnam and Zandvoort, I think it's called, or whatever, in Netherlands. So there are going to be one or two new tracks, but that also applies to every driver on the grid as well. But yeah. Number 11, Sergio Perez. Right. Obviously, this is, by the way, final one I'm doing today, in terms of, reviews. Come back for part 2, by the way, next time. But yeah, Sergio Perez, good driver. He's one of the better midfield drivers, in the Formula 1 paddock. he's obviously signed a new deal with Racing Point, which obviously used to be Force India. So yeah, he signed a new deal with them. I think that lasts him up to 2023 or 2022, one of them 2 years. But yeah, you know, he's a very, very good race driver, in my opinion, Sergio. And really, I think he'll be borderline top 10. You know, it'll be only a couple of points between himself and other drivers, I think, who will be around that 10th position. Because obviously, as I say, that midfield battle, I expect it to be very, very close once again this season, based on last season. And yeah. So, right, anyway, thank you for watching this part 1 of the video. Come back for part number 2 of my predictions to the F1 2020 season, of course. I hope you've obviously enjoyed this video. If you have, then make sure you do leave it a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm trying to get to some 50 subscribers. We're very, very close to hitting our target. If we do get to 50, that's brilliant. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.